Hello guys, in this video we'll continue the lesson. Okay, and last time we finished exercise number 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5, I guess. Yes, no, 4, yes, and 5. And in this lesson we'll start from exercise number 6. Read about the TV series Super Commuters number 2. What is it? What is it about? And what is a commuter? Okay, do you think? So we're gonna read. Okay, here we have the article. Okay, super commuter, and here we have the topic. Let's go down like this. Okay, guys, so now you can read about it. Okay, and we will answer these questions here. What's it about? Okay, and what's a commuter? Okay, guys, so stop the video. You should answer these two questions in 2 minutes, okay? Read by your eyes, don't translate anything. Try to understand the general idea, okay, guys? After that, we'll check together. So now you've finished reading. Let's check. So the first one, what's it about? The TV series is about commuting long distance to work. And what's a commuter? A commuter is someone who travels from home to work every day, often quite long distance. So if you go from your home to work and it's long way using transportations, public transportations like bus, train, tram, metro. So you are a commuter, okay? Okay, so next exercise. Here we have read about a series again, the series again, answer these questions. So let's see the questions first, and you take a screenshot or take a photo, then we will answer. Okay, so take a photo now and we'll read together. When did Mick Benton live in Bangkok? So when you see a question like this, so when? So the answer will be what? Date, okay? How far? We know that when I say how far, I talk about how many kilometers, okay? Was it from his home to his office? So the answer will be 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 10 kilometers. How long? When I talk about how long, okay, that means about time. 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes. How long? The same. So how long did it take him to get to work? How long can people in Bangkok spend in traffic jams? The traffic jams when the cars are not moving at all, okay? We call it traffic jams. What does Gary do? That means here we need some activity. No, sorry. What does Gary do is about job. Okay, it's the same. What's his job? Okay. What kind of company does Sarah work for? Does she work in a, for example, law company, agency company, multinational company? What? Where does Luke live? That means here we talk about a place, a city. Okay, so again, take a photo for these questions, and now I will put the article here. Okay, guys, so now you read, answer the questions. Okay, and you should take only 3 minutes answering these questions. You shouldn't take long time, okay? Try to read by your eyes fast. Don't read loud, okay? Okay, now I'll give you the answer because you finished. Okay, you stopped the video and finished, and now I'll give you the answer. Okay, so let's see the answers here. So when did Mick Benton live in Bangkok? 7 years ago. How far was it from his home to his office? 4 kilometers. How long did it take him to get to work? over 2 hours. How long can people in Bangkok spend in a traffic jams? 7 or 8 hours a day. What does Gary do? He's a lawyer for an American multinational. What kind of company does Sarah work for? Fashion company. Where does Luke live? In Krakow in Poland. Okay, so that was the answer. Okay, now we'll move to the grammar part. Okay, in the grammar part, subject questions. Look at these sentences and answer the questions. Okay, here, Mick Benton made the TV series. Okay, Sarah Mead lives in Paris. Okay, so we have questions after that. Okay, so who made the TV series? Who made the TV series? Okay, Mick Benton. Yes. Who lives in Paris? Yes, look here. Who lives in Paris? Sarah. Yes. What did Mick Benton make? Mick Benton. Okay, the TV series. So he made the TV series. Where does Sarah Mead live? In Paris. Okay. Okay, we didn't finish the grammar, but now we'll go and read. You can go and read about it. For example, if you don't have the book, I'll put it here so you can read about it. Here's the answer. Okay. Then can continue reading here. Can stop the video and read. Okay, I put it for you here. Now I have tips. So now you read everything about the grammar, but now I will go and explain everything for you on my way. Okay, guys, so let's go to the whiteboard. So first of all, let's talk about the normal question. When I talk about the question that we practiced or learned to do in the last level. Okay. For example, I say Sarah works in a school. Okay. Okay, so now if I want to write object question, the normal questions that we write, object question. What's the order for the question? We always say question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive, right? This is the order for the normal question that we usually write, and let's make it in a put in the table. So when I ask about the object, here we said we have the object. Okay, the object, and was in a school, for example. And here we talk about question word. What's the question word? Because we are asking about in a school. So the question word should be where. Okay, where. And we have an auxiliary. We know what's the auxiliary because we have she. It will be does. Then Sarah. Okay. The infinitive is live. Sorry, work. Where does Sarah work? The answer, in a school. In a school. Where? This is the normal question. We call it the object question. This is the object question that we always write. Okay. Now, if I have the same sentence, let's say Sarah works in a school. Now we want to ask about the subject. So now we're going to write a subject question. Where is the subject here? The subject is Sarah. How can I write the question? I say, who works in a school? The answer will be Sarah. Okay, so if I want to write the rule for that, how can I make the question? It's very easy. I start with question word. After that, I start with verb. That's it. Question word and verb. But what about the auxiliary? We don't have auxiliary. Why? I will tell you now, just a second. Okay, look here. Every time you have subject, you must have auxiliary. They always come together. Every time you have auxiliary, you have subject. Okay, but here we don't have subject. And how can I know the subject from the object? Every time we have the subject, we have the verb. What comes before the verb is subject. After the verb is the object. Okay, so here in a school, we cannot say it's a real object. Okay, but just to understand. So now we understood, okay, that if you want to ask about object, we have this table, question, word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. So you ask about object, you have subject in the question. You ask about subject, you have object in the question. Okay, so now let's go to the next page and explain it in the past. For example, if we say Adam, okay, so Sarah in London. Okay. How can I write object question? Okay, how can I write object question? Okay, I think now you understood it. We write the same, but we say who. So Sarah in London. The answer will be Adam. That's it. Very easy. So we ask about who. The answer is Adam. Okay, look here again. Adam, okay, watches TV in the evening. Yes, how can I write the question? Good, so you delete Adam and put who, that who watches TV in the evening, and put the question mark. The answer will be again Adam. Okay, look here and be careful here. If I say Adam and Sarah watches, no, we will not write watches, we write watch TV in the evening. Okay, so now I want to write question. I write again who watches TV in the evening. I say Sarah and Adam, or Adam and Sarah. But did you see here? We put ES every time you answer, you ask a question with who, a present symbol, you must write S or ES, okay? Even if you ask about 2 people or 3 people, it doesn't matter. We don't know the answer, that's why we ask, okay? Because we don't know the answer, that's why we ask. So you ask always with singular, okay? If you see the last one, we say Sarah works, who works? But in the past, because so is the same so, we don't change anything, so we keep it the same. Okay, clear, guys? Every time you write subject question in present, you must add S or ES or IS, whatever, after question words. Okay, but if you ask about the object, as we say here, question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. Okay, so now let's go to the book and see if we can do the exercise. I'm sure you can do the exercise. Okay, it's very easy. So here, write questions for the words in bold. In bold, that means these in the black. Okay, so here we ask about what? In the first one, about Mick. You ask about Mick. So where is the verb? Work is the verb. And Mick comes before the verb. So it's a subject, a question. You ask about subject. So you say who and worked and back. You continue the sentence. Now you ask about the object. So you must write the table, question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. And how can I make it? This is in the past, okay? So I say Bangkok is a place. So we say where past, the auxiliary, question word, auxiliary in the past. So did make work. Where did make work? In Bangkok, okay? Now stop the video. 3, 4, 5, 6. Write them. Write the questions. Then check with me. Okay. Okay. Now you finished. Let's check. Gary lives in York. Again, it's a subject question. So we say Gary lives. Sorry. Who lives in York? Okay, and if you don't know York, York is a city in England, and in America we have New York. Okay, so originally York is a city in England. Okay, now we're gonna write Sarah works in London. So we will answer about the object. So question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. Question word, in London is a place. So where? Auxiliary, it's a present, and she does. Where does Sarah work? Okay, Luke works for an advertising agency. That's it. We delete Luke and write who. Who works for and you continue the sentence. Okay, it's a question now. Now the program starts at 9:30. Okay, so this is an object question. So what do? We write question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. Question word about time. What time? And the program is it, so does. What time does the program? Let's do it like this. The program starts. Okay, as easy as this. It's very easy, guys. Okay, so if you still have any question about it, just write down in the comment and we'll answer it. Don't worry, everything is easy. Okay, now we'll go down. Exercise number 9. Listen to 3 interviews for the program. Write 1 reason why Gary, Sarah, and Luke live a long way from York. Before we listen, okay, let's talk about this for a while. Now, we know that sometimes people live in a city and work in another city, okay, or in the same city, but they live in the at the beginning in the city and they work at the end of the city, and it takes like 1 hour. The same thing when I came here to Istanbul. I every day it took me 1.5 hours to go to work. But why people do this? For me, I wanted to rent a flat next to my work, but number one, the flats were very small in the same area and very expensive, like much more expensive than the flats in my area. And it's like a noisy place. I didn't like it. So for me, these were the reasons why I didn't move next to my work. In my area, my flat is cheaper, bigger, and the place is quieter. So what do you think? What other reasons people have so they don't move from they don't move their house, or they don't live near to their houses? Think about it. Their works. Think about it. You can stop the video for a minute. Think about it. Take a piece of paper and write what are the reasons. Of course, you know someone who lives in a place and works in a far place. Think about it. Okay, I'll tell you some other reasons. Maybe you have the same reasons. Maybe my home is owned. I bought my home. It's not rented, so I can't change it. Maybe I live next to my family. Maybe I have children, they are in the school. It's not easy to move children from the school and to another school. They already have friends there. What else? Maybe I have business, different business in the same place. Maybe I don't have family, but my wife has family. Okay, so there are lots of reasons why people live in a place and work in a place. So now we will go back to the book. Okay, so we will listen, okay, to the interview with 3 people. Write only 1 reason for everyone, Gary, Sarah, and Luke, why they live a long way from work, okay? Are you ready, guys? Take a piece of paper, enjoy listening, and write the answer.
Track 6. Gary, you spend over 4 hours a day commuting from York to London, a distance of about 200 miles.
Yes, that's right.
And it costs you nearly £10,000 a year. Why do you do it?
Well, my wife and I were both born in York, and most of our family and friends still live there. And we like the quality of life in York. It's quieter than London, and the people are friendlier.
So, tell me about your journey.
Well, it takes about 2 hours to get to London by train. I leave home at 6:45 and I'm usually at my desk by 9:30. I get back home at about 8:30.
And you do this 5 days a week?
Yes, that's right.
And what do you do on the train?
Well, all the trains have Wi-Fi, of course, so I answer emails and chat to friends and things.
Sarah, why do you work in London but live in Paris?
Well, I moved to Paris 4 years ago to work for a fashion designer, and I really fell in love with the city. So when I got this job in London, I decided to stay in Paris and commute. Also, I've got a French husband now, and he doesn't want to live in London.
So do you travel to and from London every day?
Oh no, I go there and back twice a week. I stay with my sister when I'm in London.
Do a lot of other people commute to London?
Oh yes, I think so. Somebody told me that about 50% of the people who travel from Paris to London on Eurostar are commuters, so I'm certainly not the only one.
Luke, it's nearly 900 miles from Krakow to London. Why do you live so far away from your job?
Well, my wife's Polish, so that's the main reason, really. We lived in London for a few years, but flats are really expensive. So last year we moved to Krakow and bought a flat there instead.
Is it very expensive to commute from Krakow?
No, not really, because you can get really cheap flights if you buy tickets in advance. A return flight usually costs about £50. I leave home on Monday morning and get back late on Thursday evening.
And how long does your journey to work take?
About 4 hours door to door.
Okay, guys, so if you need to listen again, no problem. Listen again, twice, 3 times, no problem. Okay. Now, you should have reasons, and I will check with you. Let's see here about Sarah or Gary. The first one is Gary. Gary, he and his wife were born in New York. Most of their family and friends live there. He likes the quality of life in New York. It's quieter than London, and the people are friendlier. Okay, what about Sarah? Sarah, she fell in love with Paris when she moved there 4 years ago. Luke, his wife's Polish. Flats in London are really expensive. So, more reason for everyone. Now, we'll practice writing questions. The same thing we did before. So here in exercise 9B, we have some questions. How many? Let's see, 8. So what we will do, we will complete these questions. For example, who leave home at 6:45 a.m.? So we know, and we said, if in the present simple, because here it's a routine question. So we say after who, we always write S in the verb, who leaves. That's it. Now you have complete question. Okay, how Luke? So now we say how Luke. Okay. Okay, but yes, number one, a student will ask me, but why we didn't use auxiliary here? Okay, look at the question here. Do we have a subject? No, so we don't use auxiliary. Remember, you have subject, you have auxiliary, you have auxiliary, you have subject. You don't have subject, that means it's a subject question. Okay, now how Luke travel to work? Do we have a subject? Yes, we have Luke. How do we know it's subject? This is the verb. What comes up before the verb is the subject. So now we must have auxiliary. So auxiliary, question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. So we start with how, then after that does auxiliary, Luke travel to work. Okay, now we will do number 3 together. After that, I will leave you to do the others. Let's see. Who? Okay, number 1. Let's see. In the question, do we have a subject or no? Where is the verb? This is the verb. Before the verb, do you have anything? No, no subject. All you have question word. That means it's a subject question. So we say who, travels to London twice a week. That's it. Okay, so now stop the video, finish from 4 to 8, write it in a piece of paper. After that, check with me. Okay, guys, so now we will check the answers. I hope you got them all right. Okay. Number 3, we did it. Who travels to London? Number 4, how long? Look, again, I will show you first how long it take. So do we have a subject or no? We have a subject. How do we know it's a subject? Because before the verb, that means we go question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. Question word, how long? Okay, it means does. Does it take Luke to get? Okay, and let's see here. How long does it take Luke to get to work? Number 5, again, do we have a subject or no? Where is the verb? This is the verb. Do we have a subject before? No. So it's a subject question. Who spends, yeah. Okay, who spends $10,000 pounds a year on travel? Okay, next one. Do we have a subject or no? Yes, this is the verb, and before the verb we have the subject Sarah. So it's question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. So where, what's the auxiliary? Because you have Sarah, does Sarah. Where does Sarah? Okay, that's it, yeah. Where does Sarah stay when she is in London? Okay, so number 7, how much Luke usually spent on a return flight? So now, again, do we have a subject or no? Where is the verb? Spend. Before the verb, we have Luke. So it's a subject question. No, it's an object question because you have a subject. So question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. Question word, how much Luke does Luke? How much does Luke? So how much does Luke usually spend on return flight? Okay. The last one, again, do we have a subject or no? Where is the verb? Commute. The commute means go to work by public transportation. Before, do we have no? So it's what? We don't know the subject, so it's a subject question. A subject question, that means who and the verb, and you put S and that's it. So it will be who commutes. Who commutes to London 5 days a week? That's it. So easy, guys. If you still have any questions, just write it down in the comments. Okay, guys? So now you have all the questions. Okay, let's just go down again. Okay, and put the questions again here. So now you have these questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you will listen, okay, and answer these questions. It's very important, guys. Okay, listen and answer these questions in a piece of paper. Okay, so when I say who, you have to write a name. How, travel, guess. So car, bus, train. Okay. Who, name. How long, time. Who, name. Where, place. How much money. Who, name. So these are the answers. Okay, so just before you listen, you guess. Okay, now listen to the recording and answer the questions.
Track 6. Gary, you spend over 4 hours a day commuting from York to London, a distance of about 200 miles.
Yes, that's right.
And it costs you nearly £10,000 a year. Why do you do it?
Well, my wife and I were both born in York, and most of our family and friends still live there. And we like the quality of life in York. It's quieter than London, and the people are friendlier.
So, tell me about your journey.
Well, it takes about 2 hours to get to London by train. I leave home at 6:45 and I'm usually at my desk by 9:30. I get back home at about 8:30.
And you do this 5 days a week?
Yes, that's right.
And what do you do on the train?
Well, all the trains have Wi-Fi, of course, so I answer emails and chat to friends and things.
Sarah, why do you work in London but live in Paris?
Well, I moved to Paris 4 years ago to work for a fashion designer, and I really fell in love with the city. So when I got this job in London, I decided to stay in Paris and commute. Also, I've got a French husband now, and he doesn't want to live in London.
So do you travel to and from London every day?
Oh no, I go there and back twice a week. I stay with my sister when I'm in London.
Do a lot of other people commute to London?
Oh yes, I think so. Somebody told me that about 50% of the people who travel from Paris to London on Eurostar are commuters, so I'm certainly not the only one.
Luke, it's nearly 900 miles from Krakow to London. Why do you live so far away from your job?
Well, my wife's Polish, so that's the main reason, really. We lived in London for a few years, but flats are really expensive. So last year we moved to Krakow and bought a flat there instead.
Is it very expensive to commute from Krakow?
No, not really, because you can get really cheap flights if you buy tickets in advance. A return flight usually costs about £50. I leave home on Monday morning and get back late on Thursday evening.
And how long does your journey to work take?
About 4 hours door to door.
Okay, guys, so if you need to listen again, you can listen twice or 3 times, okay? But now, let's see the answers. Okay, so who leaves home at 6:45 a.m.? Gary. How does Luke travel to work? He flies, buys cheap flights or goes by plane. And who travels to London twice a week? Sarah. How long does it take Luke to get to work? 4 hours. Who spends £10,000 a year on travel? Gary. And number 6, where Sarah stays when she's in London? Sorry, where does Sarah stay when she's in London with her sister? Number 7, how much does Luke usually spend on a return flight? About £50. And who commutes to London 5 days a week? Gary. Okay. Okay, guys, so now the last exercise, page 102. One of these exercises we will take, 102. 102. 1B. Okay, it's a very important exercise, guys, here to practice. So here, questions with who. All the questions, say who. You write on a piece of paper who goes out to work, who leaves home first, who gets home first, who does the cooking, who watches TV the most, who goes to bed. Okay, so these are ready questions. So now you will answer your answers about yourself. Okay, after that, you imagine that you ask your friend questions and your friend will answer. For example, who goes out to work in your family? So you know your friend, for example, your friend's father. So you write, for example, father. And you make here follow-up questions. All follow-up questions you ask about object question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. So you write where. So you say here, who goes out to work? He says, my father. So you need to ask about a place. So where? Question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. All of them. Question word, auxiliary, subject, infinitive. So question word where? Father. He. So the auxiliary will be does. Where does he work? Okay. Where does he work? The answer. So it's the same thing. Okay, guys. So here, leave home first. Who leaves home first? My sister, my brother, my son. what time you write the question. Okay, so here I will not give you the answers, guys. So you write the answers and you put them down. Okay, here you don't for this group you don't need to write the answers down because it's only who, and you add s here. Okay, here es, here s. Okay, but here you write down the questions. Okay, for the last exercise, it was exercise 10. Okay, write exercise 10D, group D, and write the questions down, and I will check them for you. Okay, guys. So that was it for the rest of this lesson. Okay. So if you have any question, again, write down in the comment, and I will answer them immediately, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, guys. And when I say write, guys. When I say listen, don't say no. I just only want to see the answers and that's it. I always repeat this. If you don't write, if you don't listen, if you don't speak, you will never speak English. You are wasting your time. And if you are wasting your time with me, better to stop, because I want all my students to be active with me, guys. Okay, and write down in the comments any question you want. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. Thank you for staying until here. And if you like the video, like, share with people. Okay, and I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.